There we go. Set decoration. All right, fills it out a bit. I like your light, Jeff. The variety of colors. I'm pretty oranged up right now.
Well, you know what? I'm using a single redhead. Yeah, it's nothing special. I got the same webcam as you.
And I feel like your Skype call interrupted a train of thought. Don't know where I was.
Talking about Martin Shkreli, man. Oh man, that
Oh,
guy is amazingly interesting. Oh, what a guy! To gouge and to have the balls, which in my opinion, can only come from inexperience and naivete. To go on the news and defend it, thinking that you're doing something good and trying to convince people, no, this is good in the end because, wait a second, it's complicated. You guys just don't understand. Which I agree is a thing a lot of the time, right? Sometimes it is complicated and the public doesn't understand. But come on, we're going to make the drug better, more accessible by raising the price 5,000%. And, it's like, man, if you're going to improve the drug, why don't you invest in the millions of dollars of R&D beforehand, then bring it out at $700 a pill, and it's justified. Maybe do that first. Make a new drug, not one that's been around since the 1950s. Man, everything about that guy, I could rant for like 10 minutes about what I read. Like everything from his OkCupid profile where he describes himself as what a catch, and he's dead serious. Like, oh man, he's got serious misunderstandings about how people perceive him, and he's just been living in a bubble of like, oh man, the bubble that guy lives in has distorted his understanding about what his output into the public is and the input coming back from the public after that. And it's just, he's probably having a bad time right now.
Doesn't he have enough money to just disappear to an island forever?
He probably does. He probably has, if you have $5 million, you can invest that and live off the interest and have a great life in North America. But man, he's a psychopath.
I was fascinated by psychopathy a couple of years ago and went down that rabbit hole, and it bums me out, man, because it's not at all uncommon, especially among the rich, and it just depresses me. I don't like reading about guys like this that have the capacity to do those things, that have the capability with their wealth to do such good things, but instead choose to be such fucking assholes. But it's a genetic issue, right? It's at the same time, right? It's hard to blame someone for being a psychopath because they didn't choose to be. They were born that way. It's literally a genetic makeup. But you look at this fake smile. That picture's amazing. Like one of the most telling characteristics of a psychopath is that all of their emotions are very contrived because they don't naturally feel a lot of things. Like their smiles are always very plastic and look very fake, right? And like you can have to like when they're smiling, they're consciously moving their mouth and they're emulating what they see other people do. They're like, oh, that guy does this when he's happy, right? And they spend their lives mimicking that type of behavior of other people instead of feeling it naturally. So
it's like he's a puppeteer, like
he's his own puppeteer. But it's obvious, and you look at pictures like that, and you can see this guy like moving his lips to look like he has a smile, but really,
like when the puppeteer like feels happy, they smile on their own face. They don't. But no, he's got to pull the strings to make the puppet smile, and it's not quite natural. It's not, he's learned it. Oh man.
Yeah, and when you don't experience empathy, I think it's easy to think that everybody else is very stupid, right? I'm sure that he's on the news show and he thinks everybody's a fucking moron, everybody's stupid. Why don't they understand these things I'm doing? Because when you've never experienced empathy, of course you wouldn't understand the driving force behind people's empathetic behavior. It's hard to rationalize why you should care about that other guy, although there are actually rational arguments in a sociological context as to why you want to care for your neighbor and build a better society, and then in the end, sort of affects you and everyone around you, but really, like for him, like you look at that pompous fucking smirk. Like this guy thinks he's fucking brilliant. He has absolutely no idea that he's genetically a psychopath, and he really thinks that he's in the right. And I'm sure he thinks that guy's self. Anyways, yeah, what a fucking piece of shit. Anyway, what's good?
I was riding my bike home, and I'm talking about fitness, by the way.
No.
So the other classic topic. So I had a burger there, and there was this sauce. It was from Costco, so You can't buy it unless you go far away from where we live because there isn't a Costco where we live. Um, there's this sauce that is a jalapeno lime aioli.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, that would be great on a burger.
Yeah.
Man, I love jalapeno aioli. So I squeeze it on my burger. I'm like chowing it down. Like, dude, it's like delicious, great sauce. And then I finished it off with, I had a beer, and then I had a couple like score bit chocolate chip cookies, homemade, delicious. I was like, oh, this is great. This is a barbecue. This is my eating this stuff. And then someone's like, oh, so you you got to work late tonight. I'm like, oh, I'm just doing a stream. We're doing a stream. We're gonna hang out. So I got to go home. I can't stay late on this barbecue. And they're like, oh, so do you need to ride home? Because you can leave your bike here. I'm like, oh, no. I'm going to ride my bike home because, oh, my God, I had 2 cookies. And have you looked at the nutritional info on that Chipotle aioli? And Jarrett, I shit you not, 15 milliliters, 1 tablespoon. So what is it? 10 milliliters. Isn't that a centimeter cubed? It's 1. It's easy. So 1 tablespoon is 15 centimeter cubes? Really?
15 cubic centimeters? What?
No. Yeah, it's 1 tablespoon is 14.7 milliliters. Interesting. It must be like a heaping tablespoon.
That seems crazy.
It's 100 calories anyway. 100 calories for 1 tablespoon, which I guess is a lot if you spray it on the burger. But I'm like, man, that sauce, it's like 5 times the calories of ketchup. I was like, and then I realized I sound like an insane person. I'm like, oh,
it's not insane, or just maybe
I'm a
bit
fitness insane. Yeah, to you it's not insane, but here I am
at a social gathering. Everyone's having fun.
Dude, have you read the nutritional information on this bottle? It's like 5 times ketchup. It's like a milliliter. Blah blah blah. I had bacon on my burger. Oh man, of course I'm riding my bike home.
Yeah,
I don't want to burn off those calories.
You got on your bike and laughed at him and looked at each other and like, what a fucking downer.
They're looking
at
me,
man.
They're
Don't
looking
invite
at
that
me
guy
like
to the next barbecue.
I'm crazy. They're looking at me like I'm nuts, and it's like, is it insane to just look at the nutritional information? Like 10%. By the way, that was also 10% of the daily recommended fat intake. In a sauce.
Man, fuck ketchup, fuck mayo.
Dude, it's great.
Mustard, man. Mustard is the shit.
Have a ham sandwich with mustard. It's flavorful. It's delicious.
You take that sauce, especially something like mayonnaise, and you have your whole sandwich. You make a whole beautiful sandwich. And you got your fucking meats in there, your little veggies in there. I'd recommend an open-faced sandwich because 2 pieces of bread, that's a lot of goddamn carbs you don't need. But you take that sandwich, like, here's my sandwich in all its nutritious glory, and here's the caloric content, because calories ultimately is fat. That's it. Like, at the end of the day, it's calories in, calories out. There is no other magic. That is the truth. Everything else is pseudoscience. Calories in, calories out. Now you take that sauce and you do this to the top with I get some sauce in there. Now sometimes, depending on which sauce you're using, how much, you just doubled the caloric intake of that entire meal. And you need to ask yourself, how much better was that sauce? Because if you're like me anyways, that sandwich is gone in about 20 seconds. I eat super fucking fast. For 20 seconds of slightly more pleasure, because the rest of the sandwich tastes fucking really good. For 20 seconds of slightly more pressure, you just doubled your caloric intake and contributed to your gut. Whereas if you didn't put that sauce and you just had mustard instead, you eat it like, damn, this is a really good sandwich. Not like, damn, this is a really good sandwich. See, this is the intonation difference. It's really... And you have your sandwich, and then it's in your stomach. And once it's in your stomach, that's it anyways. It's done. The flavor experience is so finite. It's so brief that to completely compromise your daily caloric intake, to slightly heighten by like 5% the flavor of the fucking sandwich, it's like, come on, man. You can't make those decisions, man. You can't do it. Fucking mustard, man.
Billy Mitchell actually sent us a case of his hot sauce.
That's right.
They had him in the TV series.
Hey, we can call him right now.
It's really good.
We should call Billy.
Call Billy Mitchell. What's he doing now? I heard Donkey Kong, the record was broken again.
Oh, really?
On like a stream. On like a Twitch stream.
No way.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. I know what my secret is, man. I'm young at heart. I accept. I've never accepted growing up. And I don't think it's so much my face as to how I hold my face because I'm still a kid. I think that's really what makes me look young, is that if I was like serious dad all the time, you start to wear serious dad on your face and you start to just be serious dad. But I laugh every day. I smile every day. I really love my family and my life. So I'm lucky that way. And then I'm appreciative. I'm grateful for what I have. I'm not bitter about what I don't have. And so I don't know. And then I wake up and yeah, I think like a child still. I'm still I look around the world with childish wonder. Makes me smile. It keeps me young. Fucking A. You know, honestly, if I had a job, by job I mean any income whatsoever, I would I would buy a second PS4 right now. I'd actually do it.
So for your son?
Yeah. I just my house needs two, man, because Stacy really likes Destiny 2, and we're at the point so that there's 3 Destiny players in my house, and there's one PS4, and so I don't usually play. Typically, my Destiny history is like play after T goes to bed anyway. But now there's like the Stacy Jarrett conflict. It's like, you know, I want to play, she wants to play. It's like, well, how do you decide? And then on the weekends, you know, I want to play and T wants to play. Wakes up, he's there. And it's like, but I want to work on my character. It's like, well, I want to work on my character. And then we both start crying.
Well, dude, can you imagine, like, Taryn's norm is vastly different from our upbringing. In that dad buys the latest gaming system. Can you imagine that? You know how you had to save for your own Nintendo? Dude, and when the Super Nintendo came out, you were like, well, I guess I better save up a bunch of money and buy it myself.
It's going to be like sitting on the dinner table in Hill Valley, 1954. And Terrence's going to be at school and his friend would be like, hey, man, you guys have a PS5? He's like, yeah, I've got 3 of them. Yeah, that's hopefully.
Wow, you must be rich. It's a joke. No one has 3 PS5s. He's joking.
But it's true, man. It's true. There will at least be dual consoles because
he'll never appreciate the Dad, I want my own PS3. Okay, that's $600. Whatever. It's like, okay, how do I get dollars?
Well, when he's older, I can make him work for it. In the meantime, it's more for my benefit. But
you know, he's not going to buy one. If there is one in the house, he's not going to buy one. It'll be different. Who knows what kids will be into when he's old enough to like start making decisions about how to spend his hard-earned money. He might buy other things. You know, he might.
Yeah. Maybe sadly for him, I don't know. You know, because obviously my parents never played video games. My brother didn't really play video games. Like, I was the only one in the house. So if my house wanted to acquire a new console, which my brother would then use, but obviously not as much as me, but it was like it was on Jared and his paper route, or Jared and his cashier, his grocery bagging job. So, you know, I always wanted these things, and I thought about these things. You either waited for a Christmas or your birthday, or then when I was 12, I could finally get a job as a paper delivery dude. And, like, you saved up for this stuff. But at the same time, like, when I finally got that stuff, it meant so much to me. Like, I would literally, like, carefully take the plastic off, open the box, smell the instruction book. I really like the smell, or liked anyways. I don't know. I don't really do it anymore. But, like, the smell of new product. Like, I know it sounds, but, like, the smell of a Nintendo Entertainment System instruction book, I would just fucking smell it. And I remember the smell. And even in fact, I'm a bit goosebump thinking about it now because I've associated so much memory with silly things like that. But the smell of opening a new gaming box.
$$91.
Yes, dude. Like,
which is
they
what
were
now?
$50 then. What is $91 now? $150?
I'm gonna look it up. 45.
I mean,
$91.
Yeah. I love the smell, man. I'll never forget the smell, the excitement. The first time you put it in, and
$79.
I would put it in the Nintendo, and I'd push it and just make sure it's like perfectly straight. Like, put it like, oh yeah, okay, it's in there for like close the lid slowly, and like, and then press power as perfect and specifically as you could possibly press a power button, and then it would turn on, and there would be no touching a controller. Like, the full demo has to play, everything has to play.
Nowadays it's like escape, skip intro, escape, whatever. He wants the game like. Am I playing it now? It's
Thanks,
like
Max Marcus, man.
It's like a $15 Steam download, you know.
Oh yeah, and now I'm like, I literally am just smashing escape and trying to get to the game. But back then, when, especially as a kid, when you put in all that work and all that money yourself, you want to appreciate every single thing about it. Every second of the demo you just paid for, you just worked your ass off a month for, and it meant so much to you. So I don't want to rob that from him, but at the same time, like, I'm getting a PS5 and I'm getting a PS6. All right, well, this is a great song to go out on. Gonga Jong, what do you think, man?
Yeah, let's do it.
Gonga Jong. All right. I'm gonna go to the black screen. Goodbye, guys.